In the opening of the film, a little boy known as Miles is introduced, and as we are, he is a huge fan of Spider-Man. His father hates Spiderman. This is why Miles did not inform his father of the truth. In his free moments, Miles would sit with his uncle Aaron. Miles's life was filled with his studies. He is a guest at the hostel. He would visit on weekends. It was the weekend was over and he was required to get to school. Miles is transported to a station in the subway with Uncle Aaron. It was abandoned. Uncle Aaron is the one who asks Uncle Aaron Miles to spray paint the wall as he likes spray painting. He begins painting using a spray gun because he's overjoyed. He creates stunning graffitis. In the background, a radioactive spider is displayed. It stings Miles. It has been shown in the Spider-Man films that there is only one Spider-Man. But there's something new that's going to take place. Miles changed between days. His height grew, and he sweated. He became irritable. Things that are touched by him get sticky. Miles did not understand the changes that had taken place in him. He was unsure of his surroundings and what had happened to him. He is able to walk on walls, and when he is studying the material, it sticks to him. He thinks about what happened at the station of the subway. He realizes it's a radioactive spider, since it was emitting electric current. Miles observes Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is fighting someone. He also spots a massive collider. Here's a quick explanation of what a collider actually is. A collider is an enormous machine that brings people from all dimensions. It also can send people off Earth in a different direction. It means that the machine is not of the highest quality. The villain, Kingpin, was fighting with Spider-Man. He might be interested in contacting people from a different dimension. However, Spider-Man is aware that colliders could destroy the entire world. Miles was secretly watching Spider-Man in secret. Peter Parker's vibes align with Miles, and I've heard that he has superpowers too. On the other side, the Kingpin triggers the collider. This monster was fighting Spider-Man. The collider is activated and emerges the waves from which will kill the monster. Peter Parker becomes injured badly. Miles is taken on a trip to Peter Parker and he offers Miles the USB. He must stop the collider at all costs. If it's activated again and again, the entire world Earth is going to be destroyed. After Miles goes away, Kingpin again comes to check whether Spider-Man is still alive. When he realizes that he's not dead yet, he kills him forever. On the other hand, observing that Miles runs towards his home, Prowler is also chasing him, and when Miles gets to his house, the parents of Miles are stunned. Since he's reached home prior to the weekend, the boy asks his family, "Do I have the right to stay overnight in this place?" On the other hand, it was reported by the news that the Spider-Man who saved the city perished. A few days later, Miles purchased the following day a Spider-Man costume. He attends the conference where the wife of Peter Parker will be presenting an obituary. There were a lot of people dressed in the Spider-Man costume. Now Miles has realized it's his responsibility to save the city. He is supposed to take over from Spider-Man. He has to replace Spider-Man, and Miles was once a Spider-Man, similar to those that Spider-Man did. Spider-Man means Peter Parker. In a state of anger, he visits Peter Parker's burial site. He spots a man lying on the ground, appearing similar to Peter Parker, and understands that he is from another dimension. This means that when the collider is activated when Peter Parker dies, the Spider-Man from the other dimension has landed here. The Spider-Man was a male aged between 35 and 40 years old. He was old and fat. The name he used was Peter B. Parker. He arrived in this dimension when the collider swung on. It refers to Miles' dimension. Miles is the name he gets from there, and then they get to an area that is not surrounded by traffic barely. The new Spider-Man is free there. Miles informs him that while they were performing different actions when the USB is broken, the scientist isn't sure how to shut off the collider. They also decide that they will close the collider at all costs. Maybe other people are from a different dimension. They decide to create the USB again. To do this, they need to visit the Kingpin's office. Miles does not know how to manage his powers. This is why Peter B. Parker asks him to enter the office, and you'll stay here. He now goes into the office. Then Miles is waiting outside. He believes he won't be able to see Peter Parker while dying. As he is thinking about this, he goes to the office. When Miles enters the office, Dr. Olivia is Octavius. It's also revealed that Miles has been bitten by a powerful and special spider. This is why Miles is also blessed with the power to disappear. Miles is invisible when Dr. Octavia is on the way. He attempts to hack into the computer. He doesn't try to hack the computer, which is why he leaves the CPU. In the eyes of Spider-Man, Octavia understands that Spider-Man from this dimension is dead. He may be from a different dimension. She tests a remedy on her cells and discovers that his cells will soon be gone from his body. The same will happen when he is on this level. Now, Dr. Olivia discovered her CPU was not working. Miles has been a part of the initiative. Then, she is back wearing her dress as her former doctor, Octavius. She follows them. They exit the building. However, Dr. Antonius was in the background. Another Spider-Man is being shown. It was a female spider. She was Miles' classmate in this particular dimension. It used to be a woman spider who lived in another dimension. A male male Spider-Man was her companion. Kingpin's story is also explained here. He was all set to end the Spider-Man story one day. Meanwhile, his wife and baby join him. Realizing his situation, the reality of his life, his wife and son take off. In the process, they end up in an accident. The collider was destroyed. This is why Kingpin created this collider. Therefore, he will take his wife and infant back to the other dimension. Miles, Gwen, and Peter B. Parker go to Spider-Man's home. They get to meet Peter Parker's aunt. She is aware that while watching Peter B. Parker, he is not her Spider-Man. Then, she leads them to a hidden room of Spider-Man. They are able to meet 3 different Spider-Man versions. Spider-Man. The 3 comprise Penny Parker, Spider-Man Noir, and Spider-Man Ham. We are reportedly going to remove the collider. Miles says, okay, I'll join you. You will be able to go to your measurements. After that, I will turn off the dimension. Miles is injured by the words they used to describe him. He's not even able to share this with his parents. This is why he's called Uncle Aaron. Uncle Aaron invites him to meet him. When he arrives to see him, he senses an individual's presence. He is aware of Prowler. Prowler was not a different person than Uncle Aaron. Miles surprises himself, and he is able to run away from there. Uncle Aaron wasn't sure who is the person he is unaware that a person wearing the costume of Spider-Man has come to his house. He doesn't realize that he's miles away. Prowler chases Miles. Miles is taken to the Spider-Man's house. Everyone was eagerly awaiting his arrival. He informs anyone that his grandfather Aaron has a reputation as a prowler. The moment the door was opened, it was the entire Kingpin's army. Kingpin, it refers to Goblin Prowler, Goblin, as well as Scorpion, as well as the other. Here, they battle. Kingpin will stop all spiders. Prowler was the Spider-Man behind Miles' Spider-Man. He embraces him. He takes off his mask, and Uncle Aaron gets shocked. He's Miles right now, he won't take him away. When Kingpin discovers Prowler isn't stopping him, he decides to end Prowler. Here, Uncle Aaron dies. Miles' father is also present. He was an officer in the police force. After seeing Aaron killed, Aaron takes the blame for the death of Aaron in this. Miles returns to his home where everyone Spider-Man is waiting to welcome him. They also say to Miles that you shouldn't join us. They say that Miles that only Peter B. Parker can shut down the collider in this dimension. He can't. They go away while locking Miles there. He will, therefore, not go there. Miles had depression. He was unable to help himself. His father was also concerned about Miles. The conditions that surrounded the town were ruined. He was irritated over Miles. Miles was locked there when he discovered his second ability. It was powered by bioelectric venom. He is freed by this power and is taken to the house of Spider-Man's aunt. He departs from there, carrying the USB. On the other hand, there is a being sown. Kingpin has thrown a massive celebration to pay tribute to Spider-Man. Everyone was dressed in Spider-Man's costume. The spiders from other dimensions did not have issues when they entered. They arrive at the site where there is a super collider. Miles was also present. He is now able to manage his power after a series of mishaps. Dr. Oilvy also reaches there at the point of colliding with, together with the other comrades of Kingpin. All the Spider-Men begin fighting. The collider is activated, and the Spider-Men are required to move within their dimensions. They leave here. Penn Parker, Spider Noir, Spider Ham, everyone leave. Only Miles was moved to this location due to Peter B. Parker has also done well in his size. Now Miles begins fighting Kingpin. Kingpin was looking to find his relatives. If he can't locate his family members, Kingpin throws everything to Miles. Miles was not much in front of Kingpin. However, Miles does not lose his vigor in this situation. He fights on in extreme pain. At the final moment, Kingpin fights Kingpin by using his venom power. Kingpin lost to Kingpin. In this case, Miles is able to shut down the collision. Miles' father was also with Miles. He is aware of the fact that Spider-Man has saved all of us. He doesn't even know Miles is Miles, because Miles wears the costume and is thinking that maybe his father will be a bit worried. He must contact him at the first time. In the masks, he approaches his father, who he bids goodbye. It was a fact that Miles became the new Spider-Man of this city. The other Spider-Men also reached their size. This comic book story comes to an end.